Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Josh.
And this is NFGeeks. All right, well, Josh, we're on... Boy, it shows how much energy this picked up because this is pod layer 3. We have so much more to, to kind of get out there about this. And it's pretty fascinating. Because that's been a fascinating experience. I've never received anything like this. I've received some interesting things, but this takes the cake.
It kind of makes me feel a little bit like a celebrity.
Yeah, that's what Alex said. Alex said to me, I said, I didn't know I was a YouTube star until this happened. Yes.
I got attacked.
And really, here's another thing, too. I feel this way because I don't know if any channel got attacked like this. I got 10 at once. You just got 1.
Yeah, we got unloaded on by a team.
I know. They got together. They put out a strategy.
Took notes. These guys had notes. This guy invented the system and still had to take notes to break down my shit.
I know. All our shit. I mean, think of the effort this took to do this. This took a lot of effort. I almost have to say bravo.
I would write a dissertation on it and get your master's.
Yeah. All right.
Doctorate.
So, sure. All right, so I want to, because you took philosophy with me, I want to kind of talk about why this really isn't a theory and the relationship to Myers-Briggs isn't a theory, because it doesn't follow the way theories work with each other. Okay. So there's going to be some Hegel in this. Remember Hegel?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a little Hegelian. It's a little Thomas Kuhn. I don't know if we talked about Thomas Kuhn. I might not have.
I think you mentioned it, but you didn't go into his stuff.
Okay, and that is that when one theory is new to another theory, it's not one knocks the other out. Okay, that's what religion wants to do. They want to, obliterate the other one. But what ends up happening is a synthesis takes place. Okay, right. And so you have a theory of some kind. I'm going to use my hands. You have a theory of some kind, and the theory is kind of self-contained, but there's something outside the theory isn't touching. Okay, a new theory comes out of that, which explains the outside thing. Okay, and it doesn't look anything like the first theory, but the two theories have synthesis. The first theory's integrity is not destroyed and actually becomes part of the second theory, and the second theory's thing isn't destroyed either. And so you have the synthesis, and then it keeps growing like this. So are you following that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here's my example that I like, because I talk about this in psychology. The example I give is the relationship between behaviorism, okay, that's Skinner and right, and cognitive psychology.
Right.
Okay. So Skinner is everything's physiology, stimulus response, you're reacting to the environment, behavior, all that. Okay. Now, what was outside of behaviorism is that they couldn't explain observational learning, where because you're watching some kind of conditioning, just seeing it, you have the behavior. And that doesn't make sense because you didn't receive the stimulus, why would you have the behavior? And what cognitive psychology adds in is that, okay, you had a thought. You had a thought process in between stimulus and response, okay? Now, thought and thinking and cognitive stuff and problem solving is not a part of behaviorism at all.
Right.
However, it doesn't disavow any behaviorism. All the behavioral principles are still sound and now part of cognitive psychology, and so it's not altered in any way. And even though cognitive psychology is very different, doesn't talk about any of the things behavior does, it's not, the integrity of the theory isn't hurt by incorporating behaviorism, and that's why it's called cognitive behavioral theory. Okay, so the two theories merge, and the first one doesn't lose anything, and the second one, though explaining more, doesn't get ruined by the two coming together. And that's not what's happening.
No.
Okay, and that's not their attitude about this. They're saying that theirs is incompatible and
better, and they want Myers-Briggs to go away.
Right, exactly, and that's what that's why there's religiosity, because that's what religions do. That's what Christianity says about Islam. That's what Islam says about Christianity. They're not trying to contain each other. There's a reason why the Palestinians in Israel are shooting rockets at each other.
Right now.
Right now. Well, there's a ceasefire, I think, that might have got to there in the last couple of hours. But still, the past couple of days, that's when this was made.
Rubble everywhere.
Rubble. And part of it, it's not always, because there is a part of Israel that's very secular.
Mm-hmm.
But, part of it isn't. And same thing with Palestine. There's a part of it that's secular, part of it that isn't. There's some sort of religious thing going on that's in the mix. So I don't see that. And they're not making room for MBTI. You know what I mean? They don't want the MBTI to be part of them.
They think it's inferior.
Right. So that tells me nothing theoretical is going on, truly. And there's no anomaly. They haven't identified as here's something outside of MBTI. Because if it really was a theory that was better than MBTI, it wouldn't look like MBTI at all. The same way that cognitive psychology doesn't in any way look like behaviorism. Okay? Or think physics. You have Newton and Newton laws, and then you have Einstein and space-time and, special relativity in general. Those two things don't look alike, but there's nothing in Newton that's destroyed or taken out of to fit into Einstein, the two actually do fit in together, and Einstein's theories are not corrupted in any way by Newtonian physics.
Right.
So there's always this synthesis of the models, okay, going outward. Again, we're not having that here.
No.
So let's talk about their approach then. What can we say about their approach that would be helpful to them? I don't think let me tell you this. I don't expect any dialogue to go on with me and us about this. I expect us to be shut out. Ignored, totally. But let's leave the door open for the possibility of dialogue. What can we do to help them regarding their approach? Let's start with that.
I would cut the creepy music in the beginning.
God. Yeah.
Please.
That's a good no music.
If there was ever a Jesus, please allow them to cut the creepy music.
Yes.
Because that's got to go. If you don't want to change anything, don't, but change the music. Because it's bad.
And a lot of people have said that, too. I've gotten a lot of...
Like, I feel like someone was going to come out of my closet with a hood on and a candle. I was like, really?
Yeah, it makes you not take it seriously. It gets you worried. It puts anxiety.
It puts you in like a very anxious, like, what the hell is this? Like, right from the first second of the video. And it just makes you, it either makes you creeped out the whole time so you don't listen, or it makes you think that this is a silly goose video and not listen. So either way, people are not listening.
Yeah,
off the bat, and that's not what you want.
Yeah, that's right. And to validate that, every email I've received about this has mentioned the creepy music. Not one, every single one has said that. So I think that's a legitimate feedback. And you could still have the theory and make these videos and not have the music.
Like literally, if the whole video was exactly the same and you just edit it to remove the first 3 seconds with the creepy music, it would have probably went over a lot better.
Yeah. And that reminds me of another thing that happens, and I don't know if this is timed to certain things that they're saying, maybe, but every now and then the video gets some kind of alteration where the colors are off.
Yeah, it'll go it'll go through like a lens.
Right, or a negative, like they'll show the negative
image. And when I was watching that, I was like, are they trying to brainwash me with like hypnosis images or something? The hell is this?
Yeah, and that also I think that put off everybody too.
Right.
I don't think people want to watch. I think it makes people think, right, am I being manipulated? Is this it makes it seem crazier than it is, It
just really wasn't necessary. It just waters down what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Or it blocks it.
Altogether.
Right. We won't be adopting that.
No.
Here at NFGeeks, this is wacky enough as it is. Another thing, too, is that I think the video should be a lot shorter, like ours. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, if you got a lot to say, I guess you can do longer videos, but, like, mine's was 48 minutes, and it was like, ugh.
Yeah, and that's why I do 15 minutes, even though these are all the 3 we're doing now are thematically connected. You can watch one for 15 minutes and then go do something for 3 hours and then come back for 15 minutes.
Because it's just like the whole sitting through something for an hour or like 50 minutes. Like, I think even if their videos were like 25, 30 minutes, it would still be like, but you could do it. But just like the huge length of them is just almost painstaking.
Yes.
To sit there and watch, especially considering the fact that, like we said, it's creepy from the get-go. It's confusing because you have no idea what he's saying. He's running you around in circles. So it feels like someone's dragging you around a table for an hour.
Right, and it's so overly complex that it takes longer because you got to go back and think about what they said
and
try to
make it.
Right, and make sense of it.
It's just like
right. I'm impressed that I started to understand the Nyy'zai and like I got that part and was able to connect it. I was like, oh my god, I made it's like the Rosetta Stone. I discovered the hieroglyphics meaning. So shorter, that would be good. Another one is, and they're not going to like this one, and that is it needs some parsimony. And that is in science, and that means this needs to be simplified if this is to be understood. This has to be simplified in a huge way,
right.
to the most simple connection you can make between these variables that you got going. And they talk about science. There is no science. Where's the quantification? Where's the relationship between the variables? Where's the correlation coefficient? You're going to need that if you're talking about science. Okay. You're going to need that for science. There's no actual research methods in terms of a actual scientific way that's going on here.
Yeah.
Where's your analysis of variance? You need that. Okay, believe me, this is research method stuff. It's miserable, but that would be necessary. What else do you think?
I think it would need something kind of to the extent what you said before. Maybe just something that like legitimizes it. Something that makes it more tangible to grasp that this is something that's potentially true. Other than just some guy saying, the metaphysics of the universe, I can see it, and it tells me that you're a Nyy'zai. Like, no, man.
Yeah, and that's why, again, you need parsimony. And I know this, I'll give them this. There are a series of videos that they use as primers and teaching tools, but they're just as, I hate to say it, as nonsensical as everything else. I don't find that it helps.
Yeah.
They're too long, and they're too... Again, those are esoteric as well. I mean, it's really hard.
Yeah, there's nothing that, like, backs it up, like, that says, like, okay, see, like, you thought you were this, or you didn't know what you were, and then we assessed you as this, and it's true because of this, this, and this, and you're not that because of this, this, and this, which is all proven in our system, which you can easily see for yourself.
Right.
There's none of that.
And this is why it also sounds like Scientology, because Scientology does that with psychology. Psychology is wrong. You don't really have mental health issues. You don't need the pills. You don't need the therapy. What you need is the auditing and the Thetans released and the clear. And Scientology does the exact same thing. They have the same strategy going on. And that also just jogged something else out of my mind. And that is, have you seen the faces that come up, the little egg-shaped faces where they're trying to show
on the side, like,
on the side,
and they're like, you're not this, you're this one, and it has like different colors and different cutoffs.
And they're gonna hate this, but are you trying to scare children with those? Okay, they're really bizarre looking. You need like real.
I noticed them, but I didn't know what they were for.
Oh, that's
interesting. And I was like, except for there was like a comment that says, you are not Nyy'zai, you're not Nyy'zai, you're Nyy'zai, or something like that. And then I'm like, well, what are these faces for? I have no idea. And then after you told me about that we were going to do the video, I was like, well, let me go to Homebase and see if they have a website. And then, like, they have all of them, like, Nyy'zai, Zyy'nai, Zyy'vai.
Right, it's all
and
there.
Next to them is the face. So I was like, oh, so they're saying I'm not this face, I'm this face, because my face looks like his face, so I'm this. Oh.
Yes.
But, like, at first I'm like, what the hell are these little babies on the side of the screen? Like,
yeah, it needs some parsimony here, because I know what you're talking about. We're talking about their website.
Yeah.
And at least they have a website. NFGeeks says nothing like that. But, again, I found that to be dense, too. I should look at the website and get it right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's why you need parsimony. You should sell me on the website. I should be totally bought into this right from go.
Yeah, because you need to take notes and get a highlighter when you go on their website.
And I don't even know if that would help.
For protractor and compass or something. I don't know.
A sextant. All right, and the last thing is, the unsolicited videos off-puts. I think that's the worst part. I think people get cripped out that they got a video that they didn't expect, they didn't ask for.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning of like the first one, it's YouTube, and me personally, I'm open to criticisms and stuff. But just the fact that they were just like, okay, no warning, like they didn't email you or email anyone. Like if they would have sent Mike an email or me an email asking for like permission to do a video on me, or
even explaining it to us,
I would have been like, all right, you can do a video on me, like whatever, I don't care. But or like saying like, hey, this is our agenda or this is our belief, and we're just doing this, and we're gonna do videos on your guys's, what we think your guys' real personalities is like. And I would have been like, okay, well, at least that's something. Like, all right, let's bring on the videos. But they were just kind of like non-existent and in our consciousness one day, and then the next day they're like punching it in the face.
Yeah, what I saw in my inbox is that they originally they commented on the video they were going to send a video to, and then like very quickly there was a video. Like there wasn't even time to comment on the comment where they said they were going to send me a video. Like it came quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, it was like Pearl Harbor. There were bombs falling. You know, we're running around to try to find shelter. Well, it wasn't that bad. I didn't get upset by this at all.
No.
Really. And, all right, so we got a few, just like 1 or 2 minutes. What are some last things? Let's try to end on a positive note about this. What, you know, because we have been critical, for sure. I mean, three
videos.
3 videos of criticism. What can we say positive back about this?
I think, like we said, they're trying to be helpful, I suppose, and there's some base of, you know, like the reading of your body language. Like, there is some base to it that's not bad, but you just have to kind of expand on it, maybe incorporate more than just that to it. I don't know.
Sure.
And just like we said, be less abrupt and creepy, maybe. Not that I'm really not. I'm just saying, they do come off as very like.
Yeah, I haven't.
It's just
honestly,
like,
I've not received one positive email about these videos. Not one. And I've received a lot now.
Like,
but
he seems like he's a very. They all seem like they're very intelligent people.
Yeah. And genuinely
very
nice.
Intellectual.
Yeah.
And they're not like super rude or anything in the comments.
True. Or in the videos.
In the videos.
Right.
So
True
it's
enough.
not like they're not like being rude. And like I said, they seem very intelligent and everything, and they seem like they really believe in what they're saying. So I'm sure they're passionate people. But I just don't. Just not walking home with any of the goods.
Yeah, we didn't buy, we didn't sell, you didn't. There was no exchange. All right, but I still want to end on a positive, because there might be a dialogue. I know it's unlikely, but
I welcome them.
Oh yeah, and
I have my own channel.
Yeah.
The chosen one. The number one,
yeah, that's
ENF Josh.
Right.
So if you want to
not that
find
there's
me,
any religiosity going on with that.
So if you want, you can send them right to my own channel.
Oh, good.
If you want,
yeah,
I don't mind.
You should, yeah. And the positive thing is that, you know, let me say this about Myers-Briggs. It's not absolute truth. It doesn't have a one-to-one relationship with reality. It's just a model. It's just a tool. I use it as a tool. It's my favorite tool. Okay, it's my favorite screwdriver. But I'll acknowledge it's just a tool, and tools have limits, and so...
Not perfect.
No, and I don't think you should stop what you're doing. You should stop the way you're marketing it to people. But in terms of exploring this idea about the physicalness and the connection to personality, being able to read this quickly, I think is a valid thing. And I think it would do us both better if you attempted to connect this, to MBTI. And say, here's this thing that we can use with MBTI instead of a battle. I think more people would get in.
Could make
have an exchange. There'd be an exchange of ideas.
Make a new model using the two that's better.
Yes, and so don't stop what you're doing.
Innovation,
in terms of thinking about it.
Innovation isn't always replacing. Sometimes it's just modifying.
Yeah, that's right. And I do think what you're doing, in terms of your basic premise about this, adds to the conversation. So I think you should do it too, you know, because we're all about this here at NFGeeks. All right. So any last thoughts? Any last words?
I think I'm good.
You think you're good?
I think we've said enough.
All right. So so let's see what happens. Maybe a dialogue will take place. Maybe not. But some dialogue is taking place because videos were sent and ours are out there too. So at least there's been some exchange that the viewers can at least look back and forth on. All right. Well, Josh, thank you. This was really great. Thank you for these videos.